Hello guys, Dan here and welcome guys to my subscriber Q&A. This is number 8 and yeah, as you guys know, I'm answering the questions from the previous Q&A, which is the Q&A number 7. So yeah, subscriber Q&A number 7. So yeah, just going to get on with some questions that you guys post and hopefully if you post a comment, should kind of get a reply. So first one is from Holy, is it Chinis or Chenis? Hey, what are the specs of your computer? Now essentially guys, I don't know if you're aware, but I do have a full spec list on my about page on YouTube. And yeah, that's always updated when I do change the specs. As you can see, PC is kind of not even in a case, just because I'm literally been testing out so many coolers recently. But yeah, all the specs are available on the about page, and that PC pack picker link is always being updated just to keep you guys informed. But essentially, just the core specs: 2770s and an i7 4770K at 4.1 GHz, which is pretty good. I'll give you that, especially for editing. So next question is from Patrick, is at Fromling. I got a question. Do you often check your event viewer, and does the warnings / errors bother you? To be honest, I can't say I do check it, and from my understanding, when you do load that up, same with kind of loading up the reliability monitor within, say, Windows 7 or Windows 8, there will be a lot of warnings and errors. There'll be loads of them, and to be honest, don't be worried about them. If your PC boots up and you're able to play games, you don't get any pop-ups saying that things are actually wrong with your PC, I wouldn't worry about it. I seriously wouldn't. So really don't worry about it. It doesn't bother me. It's just the event viewer just logging stuff. It's just what Windows does, and it's just used for debugging and all that kind of jazz. But really don't bother about it. Don't worry at all. That's what I'll say. So next question is from Boris. Hi Dan, this is a bit off topic, but I was hoping you could help. This is my first PC build, an i5 4690K, Asus Hitch 97 Plus motherboard, GeForce GTX 750 Ti with the Cooler Master 212. I updated the BIOS, but now my USB keyboard is not recognized to get on the BIOS screen, but is okay when the OS starts. A PS2 keyboard will let me into the BIOS though, and help will be appreciated. Typically, when you upgrade BIOSes, it can be a little bit sketchy, but if your keyboard's not letting you into the BIOS, I did actually have that problem myself, and I kind of fixed that problem by plugging it into a USB 2 port. Now, you haven't mentioned what you're plugging your keyboard into, but sometimes USB 3, if they're not native to the chipset on your motherboard, especially if you're on an Intel motherboard, just try plugging your keyboard into a USB 2.0 port, and not kind of USB 3.0 port, sorry. So plug it into a USB 2.0 port. If that doesn't work, you just kind of, I really don't know what to suggest. Just see if there's a newer version of that BIOS and just contact the manufacturer. To be honest, it's kind of their problem. If you contact them, they'll probably know the answer to it already. At the end of the day, they make the product and they're going to kind of know the solutions to them. So that's all I recommend. Contact the manufacturer, and that's kind of the best thing you can do really. They've made the product, so they'll kind of know what to do. This next one is from I don't know, Thivek, THVEC. Dan, give us a review of that DX Racer chair. To be honest, this chair is pretty damn comfy, and but it just is, it's genius. I might make a review of it. I can't say I've ever kind of reviewed kind of like a chair before, so we'll kind of see how that one goes. But I will definitely look into that. Hey Dan, can you make a gaming setup tour for 2012? Thanks. To be honest, I would definitely film that. Probably not now. Probably wait until the PC's kind of back in the case. But I'll definitely look into that. So next question is from Primasaur. I appreciate your videos, Dan. I would love your opinion on my Vanity Overkill build and wondered what you think of it. So essentially, guys, core specs are Intel Core i7 4790K. We've got a Corsair H100 cooling it, an Asus Maximus VII formula, a Corsair Dominator Platinums, 32 gigs, a Samsung 850 Pro, that's a 128 gig SSD, and as for the GPU, a 970, and kind of don't really need to mention anything else. To be honest, pretty good build. 970 is a pretty good card. It has got 3.5 gigs of DDR5. Yes. Don't know what NVIDIA were thinking. To be honest, as soon as you're playing your games at 4K, you'll be fine. Yep, you'll be fine. It's a pretty good build. It's better processor than mine. I personally have the 4770K, but the 4790K is a little bit faster, so it is clocked higher. Pretty good. The Fantex Enthor looks pretty nice case. I think Dimitri over at Hardware Canucks has got kind of he really does like the Fantex cases, and to be honest, they are pretty good. They're pretty expensive, but the build quality, to what I've seen, are pretty, the build quality is pretty good. Very good. It just goes on to say, it is a bit overkill. It could definitely be less expensive. Yeah, it could be indeed. Yeah, it is good. It is good. Any feedback from someone as users? Yeah, any feedback from someone as knowledgeable as yourself is appreciated. So, cool. Keep up the good work, and your reviews are among my favourites in the YouTube universe. Wonderful. Glad to hear that. And our next question is from 8TO8. I'm planning to build a PC around June 2015, and I think my build will be an AMD 9590 cooled with a Hyper 212 Evo. Now I will say first up, you do need to get a better cooler than a Hyper 212 Evo. As good as that cooler is for a lot of Intel and AMD CPUs, the 9590 is actually one of these coolers that does actually need an 120mm water cooler as kind of the minimum. So do bear that in mind. You will need to buy a liquid cooler, because they do get really, really hot. The 8 cores on the clock really, really high. Carrying on, yeah, GTX 970, 8GB of RAM at 1.6 GHz, and that's kind of about it, really. Yep, standard kind of motherboard and a 750 watt power supply, all good. And yeah, if you do actually go and build that in June, it's all good. You do need to get a kind of a water cooler, so that's all good. So next question. Your next question is, hey Dan, I'm thinking of buying. Oh, something's gone wrong here. Let's click the back button. There we are. So yeah, it is. Hi Dan, I have the 4790K and it performs well across the board. Nope, that's wrong. Oh god. Hey Dan, I'm thinking of buying a new computer and I'm not sure if I should go with the i7 5820K or the 5930K or the 4790K. We'll be using my PC mostly for gaming, streaming, YouTube videos, etc. I know that the 5930K is most expensive, but is it worth the price compared to the other two? And it will probably be using one 970 and 16 to 32 gigs of RAM. By the way, I know that Z87 boards and components for them are cheaper, but I'm only interested in the performance of the CPU. Thank you, keep up the good work. To be honest, one of them CPUs you're looking at is really, really expensive. The one that kind of makes sense in my mind if you're just gaming and streaming is the 4790K, just the kind of consumer level kind of i7. Yeah, it really does only seem kind of the only sensible choice in my head, and yeah, if I were you, I would seriously just get the 4790K, because them 6 cores, yeah, the ones with 12 threads, they're stupid fast, and you really don't need that if you're just gaming. So that's kind of what I'll say. Yeah, you really don't need them for gaming. Yeah, you really don't. And you are going to be getting some 4790Ks really cheap on the internet. Kind of look around. You've got Area, Dabs, Scan. Now, I don't know if you are from the UK, but in the UK there's some really, really cheap places to get processors, including Amazon. To be honest, Amazon for components is kind of okay because you can kind of get free delivery, but yeah, just bear that in mind. You have loads of places to get CPUs from, and all the places in the UK seem to be really, really cheap at the moment for some strange reason, which is, I suppose, it's good. Next question. Actually, this is kind of like a statement from Johnson. This is going to be kind of the last one. But he said, I've never really got AMD's naming of their GPUs. I mean, where does the R9 285 fall exactly in terms of performance? Is it between the 280 or the 280X, or between the 280X and the 290? To be honest, it can be confusing, but yeah, from what I found, it is actually between the 280 and the 280X. Yeah, the AMD R9 285. It is strange. It really is strange. But to me, I think that was kind of a trump card from AMD. Just thought, let's just release this kind of card. Yeah, in all fairness, AMD's market share has gone down loads. It really has. Kind of road for AMD, because if AMD do kind of go out of business and don't make kind of consumer graphic cards, yeah, Nvidia can kind of charge what they want. And this kind of goes with CPUs. If AMD kind of disappear and don't make CPUs, Intel will bump up their prices. We need competitors, and if anything, it would be good if we had just more than AMD and Intel. It would really bring down the prices of GPUs and CPUs in general. So that's kind of my view on that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that will kind of conclude the Q&A. So yeah, if you guys have kind of enjoyed this episode and kind of want, kind of your questions answered, yeah, feel free to put kind of a question in the comments section, and yeah, I'll get back to you in my next Q&A. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.